Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody is having a good morning so far. Happy Friday! We made it. My goal this week was to go live every single day, at least Monday through Friday. And I messed up. I did not go live yesterday. But I'm going to make that up because I'm going to do this live project this morning. And then we will be live again later tonight. So I will still get in 5 lives this week. Thank you. So as you join, if you will send me a comment, let me know that you're here. I would greatly appreciate that. And I'm going to wait just a minute before I announce all of the tools that we're going to be using, just so I don't have to go back a few different times and keep announcing what it is that we're actually doing today. But I'm glad that everybody's here. Hope everybody is having a good day. Like I said, shoot me a comment so that I know that you're here. Be sure to go ahead and share the video to your, sprinkle the video to your page for your friends to see, letting everybody know that you want them to watch this video. We're trying to grow this community and we have done a great job. Our numbers are increasing and that's what we're trying to do. You guys, my goal here is to basically inspire people. Hey Diane, good morning. Inspire. I was a caregiver yesterday, you're right, and Owen needed that. And hopefully Owen will stay asleep this morning while I do this live, so we'll see. But my goal is to inspire everybody to be a little creative. Sometimes we go into these big box stores and we see items that we really love and we're like, oh, it's for Christmas and I really don't want to spend $40 or $50 on that. I only use it for 2 months out of the year or whatever. Sometimes we break down and buy it. But sometimes we think, I could go home and make that myself. How many times have we said that? Anna and I, my daughter-in-law and I actually have a little joke about, the whole, I can make that myself, but would you? Do you take the time to go back and make it yourself? Well, now you can. If you see something, you can have the confidence that you need to grab up a few products and run back home and make it yourself. Hey, Aunt Carol, good morning. Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you what we're doing. Yesterday, when I planned my live, I planned on doing a rustic Christmas tree, and I tested it out yesterday morning, and then I ended up not going live, which was fine. But what I have, this is actually just a wood Christmas tree that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I think it's probably 12 or 13 inches tall. I thought it was super cute. It had a hole in the top where it had a little hanger on it, so you could hang it. Hey Robin, good morning. But what I decided to do was to give it some texture. So we went to, and I'm making a mess everywhere. We went and picked up what we thought was spackle. So I'm like, I think we could texture this tree with spackle and then I could paint it. Well, I got up yesterday morning to test it and come to find out we did not buy spackle. We actually picked up plastic wood, all-purpose wood filler. So when I tested my tree, can you guys see all that texture? You see that? When I tested the tree, it took forever for this to dry. So I wasn't going to be able to go live. Hey Joan, hey Anna. Oh, that's right, you're at the doctor's office. Let me know how that goes. But when I tested it, I realized it was going to take way too long to dry. I would have been able to get to it yesterday afternoon. I think it had dried enough. But today is just as good because I had a sick baby. So normally when we buy spackle, we buy the pink lid stuff. And when you open it, it is pink and then it turns white as it dries. I knew as soon as I opened this, it was a super, super dark pink, not light pink. And then I smelled it and it's got a strong odor. So basically I looked and I read and I'm like, got the wrong thing, but we're going to try it anyway. So I have already done my tree and it's already dried and it's just super textured. So it has some loose pieces on the edge that I'm going to sand off. I'm knocking them off as we do this. But that's what I'm using. I will be using one chalk couture transfer, just part of it. It says, "Oh, Christmas tree" across the top. I'm going to be using that. I am going to be using a board that I had already painted to do a pumpkin project on. And then when I got tired of pumpkins, I still had this board left. So you see, it's kind of I thought it was a snowy look, and we're going for a snowy vintage tree this morning, so I think it'll work. But what I did is I painted the entire thing white with gray streaks while it was wet, and then I went back with some black and just blended that in till I got this striation look that I like. And it kind of makes me think of a winter snowy day. I'm going to be using it this direction. And then to decorate my Christmas tree, we're going to paint it. I have got apple barrel English ivy. I have got apple barrel Kelly green paint. I've got apple barrel white and a little bit of apple barrel burnt umber. So those are going to be my paint colors. I will be decorating it with a berry garland. I'm going to make this into a garland on the tree. And that's basically it. We're going to go ahead and get started. So I've never done this before. Good morning, Jennifer. Never done it before, but I guess I'm ready to see how it turns out. So you guys get to watch live and see if it turns out. Remember, go ahead and sprinkle the video. Sprinkles all the way up until 7 p.m. Central Time will count in the drawing. The drawing tonight is for actually it's 3 giveaways, 3 different drawings. That will be at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. So join us back live for that at 8. You can sprinkle all the way until 7. That gives us an hour to do the final tallies and get all the names in the bowl. And I will be giving away the Cold Hands Warm Heart, the snow mittens that I did a couple of days ago. And then I'll give away the 2 little box frames that I was doing when the internet cut out and you guys lost the live. That was 2 days ago. So those will be 3 separate drawings. There's 2 box frames and the Cold Hands Warm Heart sign. Those will be given away tonight. I think it's going to look cute too, Anna. We'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to work on my tree because I think it needs to dry. Mark hooked me up a blow dryer. And like I said, I've never done this before. So we're just going to dive right in. I'm going to just very sparsely almost dry brush some of this paint on. I'm going to use the English ivy. I dabbed my brush. I don't know if you guys can see. This paper plate's my paint palette. Get my brush in there and take off most of it. And then I'm just going to go over. This is going to end up being a snowy tree, but it's going to be really textured, so it's going to look real. I think more real. Can you guys see? Have I got it enough in the screen? I know, Joan, your name should be in there for a lot of times. I do want to say something else while I'm brushing this paint on. And like I said, I'm just doing this so light, just barely going over the tips of these, the little valleys and peaks that it made whenever I put that spackle on. But when my live went dead the other day on, what was that, on Wednesday, I was in the middle of my live and then all of a sudden everything crashed, and then I tried to get back on and we never exactly figured out. I really kind of thought that there was a Facebook error, and now I'm not certain that I'm not positive, but maybe we were hacked. Some people did see, hey Aunt Connie, some people were getting comments under their comments on the video from a foreign name. I could not see those comments, so I did not know that you guys were seeing anything from anybody other than me. So I apologize for that. That's my assumption right now, is that I was getting hacked, and that's what maybe Facebook shut the video down. I'm not positive. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of dry brushing all those raised areas. And this is the English Ivy Green. I'm going to skip my little tree trunk there because I'm going to go over it in brown. So because this is wood filler, it didn't turn white, it turned a brown. Whoops, I got a little heavy on the paint at the top, but I can fix it. It turned brown because it would be wood filler, which is great. But I'm going to let a lot of that show through because I don't think it matters. I think if this is a woodsy Christmas tree, just picture yourself when you go out to cut down your tree for your family or whatever. Not anything that I want to do. I like for my trees to come from the store. But some people do go out and cut down their own tree. I just think that this is something you might walk up on when you're going out to hunt your tree. Thank you, Aunt Connie. I have not seen you in forever. We'll have to get together. It's a shame when you, everybody's so busy and we live so close, you know, to live 30 minutes away from family and then go, you know, years without actually seeing them. And I feel so guilty because that's what happens. But Aunt Connie, I don't think I've seen you in, I think, 4 years. So we will have to get together. Okay, so here's what I have so far. This is the English ivy green. You see up here that I got a little heavy-handed. I may go back in and put a little bit more in some other places just to kind of even it out. I'm going to go back over this with some Kelly green too, just to put some light in areas. And then I'm going to go back over with the white because we want this to be a snowy winter Christmas tree. Okay, almost got it. It's going to be so cute. I'm really excited. There are some pieces sticking out on the edges that I was going to sand off, and I thought I'll just leave them because it makes it look more realistic, makes it look like peaks in the trees. So here's our green, or the English ivy green. And then I'm going to go in with my Kelly green, which is a little brighter. I'm not going to use very much of that. It's pretty bright. But I just want to have some depth. Nah, I may not like the Kelly green. You know, the good thing about crafting or doing anything, you're making something for yourself or even somebody else, you get it on there, you don't like it, cover it back up. Not a big deal. Hey, Anna, I see that my mom, I'm glad you can see, Joan. I see that my mom is, if Mom's on here, she has not said anything. Will somebody shoot my mother a text again and tell her that I'm live? I appreciate that. Okay, I don't like the Kelly green. I think it's way too bright. Let me see. Added a lot of bright. I'm going to get a little bit more of that English ivy and go back in with that again and cover that Kelly up. I'm not changing my brush in between. I'm not washing it. Have to think on your feet, Joan. I'm not washing out my brush because it doesn't really matter to me if all these colors blend. So I'm going to go back over that bright green. Maybe I should have done the bright first and then the English ivy on top. But anyway, I'm going to go back over some of that bright and soften it up some. I hear Owen crying. He has literally been in bed since 10 o'clock. So 28 minutes. And he's fussing. I don't know. He doesn't feel well. He seems happy. He's a little congested, no fever, nothing like that. Well, he's a lot congested, a lot snotty. But the boy has not rested this week at all. Thank you, Anna. Good morning, Jessica. Okay, so I'm going to stop there with my green because I'm going to end up making this a snowy tree. I'm going to go in with some brown for my trunk. I am not going to wash my brush or switch, and I just get the paint on and then take most of it off because I don't want this to be a solid surface. I just want it to be very light. I'll take it up into the tree a little bit because I want to be able to see some of that brown peeping through. There's my upside down tree. It's easier to show you that way. Okay, so I'm going to get most of this off my brush and then go back with my white. You guys see that? Now my fear is there's so much color difference that with the white it'll, oh no, it's perfect. Can you guys see that? I just want it to barely look like there's snow coated that green tree last night. Fresh snow. Okay, now I'm in the mood for Christmas even more and in cool weather. I'm so ready. Hey, Mom. Painting a rustic winter snowy Christmas tree this morning. So who all, when we were doing the live on Wednesday, did anybody, I know a couple of people that got messages from a foreign name right before the video got taken down, or it went dead, or whatever it did. Was that any of you guys saw the message from a foreign name? You know, one of those names where it's a whole bunch of consonants together and hardly any vowels. I think it was a name like that. But like I said, I didn't see it, but it seems like some of my watchers actually saw comments from that name. Actually, now that I'm a little more comfortable with this white, thank you, Anna. Now that I'm a little bit more comfortable, I'm going to go back in and I'm hitting the little peaks mainly of that, the spackle, the wood filler spackle, or whatever you call it. So I'm just going to add more because I want it to look really snowy. But because I'm just hitting the peaks, you can see the green and the brown underneath from the tree. I get excited when something turns out the way I envisioned it, just like the mittens from a couple of days ago. I was so excited over the mittens. And usually, you guys, when I'm making stuff and when I've been selling items or whatever, I don't really make anything for me. I made one Christmas item last year for me, but I usually don't actually make something for myself. I just kind of, oh, I didn't get rid of that. You know, nobody bought it or nobody else wanted it, so I'll keep it for myself. Well, I'm here to tell you, when I got finished with the mittens the other day, I've decided I have to make myself a mitten sign. I want a mitten sign. So anybody who missed that video, that was on Tuesday, go back and watch it. It really did turn out cute. Okay, let me cover up my trunk a little bit. I'm going to hold this up and show you guys in just a second. As soon as I get what I think is even amounts of snow, kind of make my tips a little darker, because you know snow always lands on those, on the tips of our tree. I actually bought a flocked tree this year. I had to get a new Christmas tree because I've always had high ceilings, and in the new house I just have standard height ceilings, 8 foot. So I had to get a new tree, and I'm so excited. I got a flocked tree. I've never had a flocked tree, so it's brand new for me. And I did something a little bit different in that I'm doing colored lights. It's pre-lit, but with colored lights. And I have not had colored lights since my boys were at home and they were little. You know, back when I used to always make sure the tree looked like they wanted it to look. Okay, let me show you what I've got. Does that look like a snow-covered Christmas tree? Tell me, I know and you guys are seeing a little bit different color. Do I need to add anything else? Do I need more white paint? I'm trying to think. I probably could use a little bit more white. You guys tell me what you think. I know it takes a minute for you guys to actually respond to me because you see it after I say it, but remember to be sprinkling the video while I'm waiting on some comments. Remember to be sprinkling the video along. And also, if you can invite friends, if you have friends that you know, hey Leah, you think it looks good like it is? If you guys have friends that you know would be interested in watching my videos, invite them to the page. There's a little button at the top that says invite. You can actually invite. Joan says leave it. Leah says leave it. That's my first 2 comments. I'm going to put my brush in the water. And I guess I will be leaving it. Hey, Brenda, good morning. I drove by your house this morning already. Okay, here is our wet paint woodland Christmas tree. I don't know if I need any extra color down here on my on my trunk of the tree? Jennifer said I agree, leave it. Okay, that's the vote. I'm going to set this to the side, let it dry. I'm going to go on to something else. I can't reach any place to set it. Got paper towels here. I'll lay it on the paper towels. Okay. Isn't it nice when our daughter-in-laws agree with us, Joan? I'm lucky too that both of my daughter-in-laws tend to think more like I do too. That makes it perfect. That means they have good taste, right? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go back to my board. This is the board that I had already painted. I didn't do it today. Excuse me, I'm going to tickle in my throat. I didn't do this today. I've already had this painted for a while. I was going to do a pumpkin design on it and then changed my mind when I got tired of doing pumpkins. Leah did, I have to admit, Leah did answer me first, Joan. So she's right. Technically, you did agree with her. Anyway, so this is a, when I painted this board, I used white, gray, and black and just blended it. And now I've sanded it so it's smooth, and I took off some of the layers of the paint. And I'm going to be using a chalk couture stencil on the top. This is going to be the top of the board. The reason this is the top is because I think it's smoother. And for my chalk couture, I need it to be smooth to use these stencils. You may have to stay in. Jennifer says it's too cold for her today, basically. Okay, so what I'm using, this is a truck stencil. All I'm going to be using is the top. It says, "Oh, Christmas Tree." And that's all I'm going to use from this entire stencil. I love this stencil. I have sold different things with this on it, but I'm just using basically the top and some of the little, you see the little curly cues around it, curly cue design. I'm just going to use a little bit of those. So I've got this laying sideways because the board is too tall. So I'm hoping I get it centered. It's kind of hard to see what's centered when you're sitting sideways. But I think I can do it. I'd already measured it out before I went live to make sure it was going to fit the way I wanted it to fit. Let me measure. If I stand it up, then I can see how much of my edges are hanging over, and then I'll know if it's centered. Sorry, I'm blocking the view. I'm trying to look at it from the back. I think that's centered because I can tell it's a square transfer or a rectangle transfer, but the edges are getting straight, and I can tell that I had it the same amount hanging over the edge everywhere. So I'm going to lay it down really good. Because I want this to be rustic, I'm using just two different inks. I am going to use, this is bark, it's brown, and that's what I think my words are going to be that. I actually thought I got a shimmer paint, but I didn't. This is a brand new one, I think. I haven't even opened it. Nope. Oh, I have opened it, I just haven't taken off the thing. So I'm going to use bark. And I may mingle in some white with that too to lighten it just a little bit. We'll see. And then I'm going to use white ink for the little decorative doohickeys, I don't know what you call them, around the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Remember, chalk couture stencils are actually screens. So when I put the paint on, hey Megan, good morning. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. I don't think I have enough room, Megan, to do it twice because my tree literally is going to come up right to the middle. I've already measured it out, but that would be cute. Anyway, chalk couture is actually a stencil or a silk screen. Remember, when I put my ink on my little squeegee and I rub it on, it's actually going through the screen. And it's got to make sure it's mashed down really good. And it just makes it less chance that you're going to have bleeding. Now, you can still have bleeding. I mean, it's not a perfect, not a perfect design, but for the most part, you don't have a lot of bleeding. I know a few of you have taken a class with me last year before COVID hit, and I was doing classes and used the Chalk Couture silk screens. So you know what I'm talking about. So can you see, or am I off? I think I've got it on where you can see. Actually, this bark color has a little shine to it, so I like that. This will take just a minute. Couple minutes. This is not difficult, it's just tedious, especially if you're only using part of a stencil, or if you are using different colors that will come up near each other, because you have to make sure that your color doesn't touch the next area that you want to be a different color. That only makes sense. About got my word, and I'm going to raise it up just a little once I get the word all done. You think this would be a good Christmas present, Megan? Is that what you're saying? I could probably hook you up. I have to say, my niece Megan has I think she's my #1 customer in volume. Sorry, Joan. I think my niece Megan is the #1 volume customer for purchasing items. So she may need a little gift every once in a while. Okay, I think I've got that done. Find my lid. Okay, can you guys see as I peel this back? If you're having trouble seeing, swipe your words to your right, get them out of your way. You can drag them back to the left when you want to. Okay, that looks so cute, and it shows up really good on this white and gray. I'll hold it up in a minute. I'm gonna lay it back down, do my white. The white is not gonna show up super bright. That's fine. I really don't necessarily need it to show up super bright. It's just gonna be a little decorative. They're little curly cues that go around the words. And actually, after I do the white, I may go back and, while this ink is wet, which it'll be wet for a while, take some of the brown on my squeegee. This is a squeegee too. It's just more like an ink pen size because it just lets you get in smaller areas. But I may put some brown on and rub it over the white to kind of give it a mingled look, mixed up look. So what is the weather like? Let's see, I know I've got some northern people, some West Virginia and some Pennsylvania people. What is the weather like there this time of year? Is it cold? Because it's cold here today. Cool. I think the high is like 60. That's pretty chilly. I went out this morning in this short sleeve shirt, and I've got on capri pants and flip-flops. I had to go somewhere earlier, and I don't have any sweaters. I bought a jacket, but I didn't grab it. But all of our winter clothes are packed and they're in storage. So for right now, I think I've got 1 or 2 long sleeve shirts and the jacket I just bought before I went on a show a couple of weeks ago. And that's pretty much it. Probably cold. You haven't been outside in days? Why not, Megan? Are you sick? Kids sick? Staying inside for days is not good. We need sunshine. We need rays. So I'm trying to decide, am I going to freeze when I go to West Virginia in a couple of weeks? I'm trying to see what the weather's going to be like. Yeah, Anna, you like this weather? Anna bought the cutest cardigan sweater a couple of weeks ago when we went to a craft event. Okay. I'm going to peel this up. I'm going to look and see what I think about the white. Oh, I'm leaving the white. I'm not going to add any brown. It looks good. I'll show you guys what I have. Okay, I'm going to lay my transfer over out of the way. Get my ink off my thing. And let me hold this up. So this is what I have. I thought I had ink on my hand, but I don't. So that's what I have. I know you guys, the words are backwards. Unfortunately, until I figure out how to film not using my phone, which is an Android, it's just going to have to stay backwards, because Androids, you can't flip it where you see everything the right direction. iPhones, you can. But anyway, that's what I have so far. Now, let me close up my paints and get them out of the way. I don't want to make a mess on anything. This project's kind of big. Thank you, Megan. You guys are just crazy, huh? Just staying in just because you want to stay in? I have been in more this week than I like to be. Okay, let me grab my tree. Couldn't think of where I laid it. Here's my Christmas tree. But I'm trying to decide. I got to decorate the tree. Even though it's going to be an outdoor tree, it's still got to be decorated. Once I get it on, you guys might tell me to put some more white on. More white paint. It's pretty dry. Actually, it's not. I'm going to do it on my hand. I'm going to use wood glue, which I had asked Mark to open this and he forgot. You guys, I have no strength in my arms. Let me see if I can get it. All you have to do is pop the top. But I can't get it, so I'm just going to unscrew it. I'm using wood glue to make the wood. I'm gluing wood to wood, and I want it to be permanent. But I'm just going to spread a little bit around. Don't come down, Mark. I hear you trying to come down. I actually poured a whole lot out. Way too much. I'm going to goop some of it back up and put it back in the container with a paintbrush. And actually having the paintbrush will help because I can spread it around. Okay. I'll spread it around. I'm going to leave the edges open. And then I'm going to use hot glue. The reason I use the hot glue is because it is instant. You know, you want to be able to continue working on your project and you don't want it to fall off in the meantime. So that's the reason for the hot glue. I'm using my paintbrush as if the glue is paint. I know you guys are wondering how I knew Mark was coming down. He's in the bedroom right above my head. So when he gets up and walks around, I can hear him. Okay. Who sees the steam rising off my hot glue gun? All right. Now I'm going to flip it over. Put it right down. Exactly where I thought it should be. After this sets and dries, I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to let you guys see if you think I should add any more white snow. It looks good. It looks like snow for sure. The glue running down the bottle. It looks like snow for sure, but it doesn't, because the background is gray and white. You don't see a whole lot of variation in the color. Take off parts of that. Put that on my trash tray. I did remember to get whites today. You like this, Jennifer? Megan likes it. Are you guys sprinkling? If you're sprinkling the video, remember to tell me that you're sprinkling. Let me go back to that too while I'm letting this dry for a minute. Several of you are commenting and telling me that you've sprinkled. The only way, there's two ways to know for sure that we know that you sprinkled a video. And that is if you comment, we're just trusting that you did it and we're putting your name in the drawing, or you can send me a message. My cell phone number, I don't care who has it, it's already on the Facebook account. It's 931-703-1558. Shoot me a message and say, hey, I sprinkled. And that way we'll make sure that your name is in the drawing as much as it needs to be. But if you put it on the Facebook, we're going back through all the videos and all of the posts that I've done this week, and we're actually putting your name physically on a piece of paper in a drawing for the items that we're giving away. Okay, here's what I have. What do you think? I'm going to get it really close. You guys tell me what you think. More white, more green. Leah said, I can't tell if there's enough contrast between it and your board. Megan sprinkled. Thank you, Megan. I needed that. Leah sprinkled. Okay, so you guys tell me what you think. Now I am adding, I'm going to put garland on. Okay, I'm putting garland on. So that's going to add some color down here. And then I will also have to go back with this garland and put a little snow on top of it too, because you can't have garland on a tree and the tree's got snow but the garland doesn't. Megan would do some more green. Thank you, Brenda, for sprinkling. Thank you, Jessica. Add more color, Joan said. Okay, and Megan said add more color. Okay, let me get my paper plate back. So we're saying I made this my trash plate, you guys. So you guys are telling me to add more color. We're talking about the English ivy green. I don't want to do the Kelly green. I didn't care for it. Maybe green and white just needs color. See, that's what's so fun about being live and you got all your people, because it's not about just what I like. Now, if I did something today, if you want to create this project yourself and I did something and you didn't like it, then you could totally do it your way when you're doing your own. But I do appreciate everybody's input. Well, let me get my same brush back out because I want it to be wide. I washed it. I put it in a cup of water. I have to tell you guys, usually I buy the cheapest brushes, like a pack from the Dollar Tree for $1. And I use them 1 or 2 times. I might put them in a Ziploc bag wet and use it again. And then I throw them away because they just cost $1 for like 4 or 5 of them, right? But I actually splurged at Walmart the other night. This is a set of, these are, I think they're just called Crafter's Choice. It was $8 for these. So you get both of these in there, all these little fine tip ones. These, I think the one in my hand is the widest and it's a wide angle tip. And then the other one that I smeared the glue with is just a wide flat tip. But they're so nice. They have a little rubber grip right there. I'm like, I'm actually going to wash these and reuse them. Okay, Robin said, you sprinkled too, thank you. More white will help, but the decorations will set it off. Well, I'm going to add more white. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more green first. Okay, now remember, it can't, because it can always be fixed, right? That's what we talked about earlier. It's just a craft. It can always be fixed. Now the only thing is I got to make sure that I don't get it on my actual board, because I've already glued them down. Yeah, maybe I just put more, I put too much white, maybe. Maybe I just need to go back over the very outside edges. And when I used the spackle, the wood glue or wood bond or whatever it was the other day, I did it with my fingers. So all of my little peaks and valleys are not the same because I was just smushing it and smearing it with my fingers. Yeah, maybe this is going to be a woodland tree that's got snow, but maybe it snowed and most of the snow's been melted. Maybe it won't be as white with snow. But I do like that it has texture, that it's not just the flat wood tree. So I would definitely do this technique again. But I might actually use the spackle that dries faster than the wood filler, which is what I accidentally ended up with. Okay, can you guys see? I'm gonna hold this up. I think I need to put more brown on my tree trunk. Just do a light. Yes, definitely more brown on the tree trunk. Carry it up into the edges. And then I'm going to go back with the white again. Much better. So add white or no white. It's got some white in it. I know it's probably harder for you guys to see, but it does still have some white in there. You see that? Perfect, much better, looks good, looks good. Now frost the tips. Brenda said no, Leah said yes. Next person who answers is going to be the way I go. 50-50, yes or no, frost the tips or not. Let's see who the next person is. I'm waiting. Now you guys are scared. Barely frost. Okay. Joan bit the bullet. She was the decision maker. Okay. Now I'm nervous. I'm going to go back mainly on the edges. I'm not going to go back in the middle of the tree. Because isn't that what happens? The snow falls on the outside edges of the tree. Of course, this is a whimsical tree. It's not like it looks real or anything. I said I wasn't going to go back in the middle, and then I did. Okay. True, Brenda, because you know she follows the lead. You know, she just does whatever Leah does. Okay, what do you guys think? I think that's where I'm going to stop. No fighting on this page, ladies. Okay, I'm going to stop with the color. I do still have to add the garland, and I will have to paint those tips. But you guys bear with me just a minute. I'm going to blow, because I added more paint, now it's wet again. I'm going to blow dry just for a second. I'll try not to do it too long, but I want to be able to get these beads on. Let me hit the... So, just bear with me. This shouldn't take but a second. I mean, it's dry enough to the touch, but I want to make sure that my glue adheres too. So, Joan, where is your cousin? Where is Hope today? You are providing entertainment, for sure. I actually think that's good enough. You know what I did not do was bring anything down for a tree topper, but I guess trees out in the woods don't have toppers. They also don't have garland, but this one does. Okay, this, you guys, this is a 9-foot little berry garland. I picked this up at Dollar Tree. I use these in some of my florals for fall, but those actually have orange and red berries, and these are just red. I can figure out how to undo it. There it goes. So this is what's going to be draped back and forth across the tree. I have to cut. And then I will have to go back and add and just frost the tips a little bit with some snow on it. Get my wire cutters. It's going to be so cute. Trying to see how long I need my pieces to be. See where it's going to fit. I already had it on here, and now it's... I cut it, and evidently I didn't cut it in the right spot. So I'm literally just going to hot glue this on. A little here, a little there. But it's going to be cute. Today. Who's estate day? Estate sales day with me. Who are you talking about, Joan? Did I miss something? Let me hold this down for a second. Are you talking about Leah? You guys know I don't use finger protectors, so I just have to sit here and let my fingers burn. Oh, Hope. I asked you about Hope. She goes all over to estate sales. Cool. And then she spends the day with her husband too, so that's great. I spend every day with my husband. So you, Joan, don't you? Which we totally enjoy it. All right, so here's my first row of garland. Cute. I think it's cute. The next one's going to be a little longer. Yes, anybody who wants to give me a little Christmas gift could be some finger protectors. Oh, I broke off the berries. That is not what I wanted to do. I think I can still use this piece. I may glue the berries back on separately. I am going to glue the berries, except I just dropped one, so I won't glue that one. Let that sit for a minute, let it get stuck good before I do the other end. Because it is wired, if I mash on one end, it may bend up the other end. Okay, I'm thinking that like the mittens the other day, this might be one that I want to keep. But I can't do that. I need to get some stuff in the stores. So who is going to actually join us live tonight to see if their name gets drawn? I know Joan will. Who's going to be available? To watch. That would be at 8 o'clock Central Time. And that's pushing it, you guys, because my bedtime's like 8:30. Okay. I'm going to end up with one little odd piece that I need to put around the bottom, and I don't know exactly where it's going to go. But I'm pretty excited about this. Hey, Cindy, thank you for sprinkling. Joan, I knew you would be here. You're going to cry? Don't cry if you don't win. And you're right, Megan, I ain't lying. I go to bed early. When I first met Mark's family, and we stayed at his mom's house, mom and dad's house, for the first time, you guys, these people stay up even on Saturday night. You know, church is Sunday. And it's like the kids at that time were probably what? Tweens, early teenage years, and some were older. I hope you can, Jessica. Well, Brenda, whoever wins, I'll send you messages if you're not live with us, I promise. But anyway, my husband's family, they stay up late. And I mean 11, 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I can't do that stuff. Cannot do it. So I go to bed. You are night owls. Okay, so I've got three little garlands draped across. Do I need something, because normally they go at an angle, do I need to go like that? That would not be really even. Or do I need to just leave it just with 3? Do I need to put a little one across the top? Just right there at the tip? Tell me what you think. While you guys are playing canasta, can't play canasta with your mom. She has different rules. But we do like to play canasta or hand and foot. But I love all you late night owls. I just can't hang with the late night owls. It does not work. The giveaway tonight, Shannon, is at 8 o'clock Central Time. Will be the live giveaway. Okay, I'm just going back and gluing these down just right in the middle. And then I'm trying to wipe off the extra glue so it won't glisten. Of course, I'm burning my fingers. Remember, I need finger protectors for Christmas. I would probably lose them. I would probably never get to use them more than once or twice. Okay. Thank you, Aunt Connie. Jessica says leave it. So no more garland. Okay. So the only other thing, before I add some snow on my garland, I can take some just of the beads. These pull off really easy like this. And I can glue on just, can you see, just some sporadic berries here and there. You guys tell me your opinion on that. I'll wait for a minute. Mom, you think it needs a little bow? That's kind of what I was thinking, is maybe a bow, but I did not bring a bow. I didn't bring anything to make a bow today. Actually, I did. I do have a piece of jute that I can make a little bow. Let me see what it looks like. And jute is woodsy. I can tie literally a bow. So not like a fluffy bow. Jessica, you said yes to the berries, to me sporadically doing the berries. Okay, just a little bitty bow for a tree topper. So this is all, I didn't bring down bow stuff, you guys. So just a little bitty bow like this. Let me hold it up. Yes to the bow. So just a little bow. Can you guys even see that? Let me see if I can get it to balance up there. Like that. Let me glue it on. If we don't like it, if I do it quick enough, I can just rip it right back off. Let it cool down before I touch it, because I'm going to have to wipe off some of that. Too much. Yeah, it needed the bow. Leah said bigger bow. I don't have any other things down here, Leah. So I can't make a bigger bow. I could probably go back and add one later, but not during the live. Bigger with the berries. Sorry guys, I already glued it down. Like that. So do I rip it off or leave it on? Leah said do it later. Actually, I just went ahead and ripped it off. Okay, I'll add a bow later, but I'm going to touch up that paint where I just messed it up. I messed it up right there at the top putting that bow on. Rip it off and add a slightly bigger crazy bow. Okay, when I post the completed picture, it'll have a slightly bigger crazy bow. So you're talking about one of the refabbed bows, Joan, that I've done? Okay, I fixed that end. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to put a hanger on here. I will add a refabbed bow later. The funky bows I make, they're refabbed bows. They are named after the girl who, as far as I know, created them. That's who I learned how to do it from. And that's Brooke Riley at refab.com. Okay, so my hanger, I've got this, you guys. I picked this up at Dollar Tree, I think. And it's a jute, but it's got a wire in it so it'll curl or whatever and stay stiff. I wanted it to have a hanger at the top. I wanted it to be a natural looking hanger. In case somebody wanted to hang it. And I'm just going to staple that in place and then we'll be done. The only thing about this, you got to get that wire on the inside broke and then you have to cut through the jute. Okay, bear with me just a minute. Let me get my little glue strands off of here. You know when you work with hot glue, you end up with glue everywhere. And they just keep stringing out. Okay, I'm going to set it in my lap. Get out the stapler. And then what I'll do is I'll curl the ends of this to make it look nice. I just have to hope and pray it goes in the wood and not my leg, right? Just bear with me, it's going to be loud. Good deal. And then I can actually just curl this up. It makes a good stiff hanger, so it'll stand up on its own, which I like. Take my pliers and just kind of give it a little curly cue there. It's frayed out just a little bit, but that's okay. This one's too long. Get it cut off. I think I got it. Yeah. And curl that end up. That little curly cue looked better. Okay, there we have it, you guys. This is our Winter Wonderland Rustic textured decor tree. Yeah, I like that hanger because it stays up by itself. So if you want to set this in the floor, you can set it clearly. You can set it in the floor, lean it on something, and the hanger still makes sense. But that's it. So I am done. I will add a bow, a crazy bow. Joan, this board is 14 by 16. It's the same size as, I think you bought one of the pumpkins. Thank you, Jessica. I think you bought one of the pumpkins on this. Thank you, Shannon. I thought you would like it. So I will add a bow, and when I post the completed picture later, I will make sure to zoom in on the bow so you guys can see. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget, you can sprinkle. Thank you, Robin. You can still sprinkle later if you can go back and just show, have somebody watch the replay. Don't forget to put it in the comments. I think most of you have already done that. And I will see you at 8 p.m. Central Time tonight. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.